Hi everybody, another Sunday. Today I've decided to upload another of Charlotte's unedited videos. It's quite a long one, it's about 13 minutes long, but it is a rather nice one and I thought people may enjoy seeing that. Briefly, I would like to just say with the charity that we've had a very, very large donation, unfortunately from bereaved parents. But they decided to give an awful lot of money to the charity and we're indebted to them. They want to remain anonymous. I'd also like to say thank you so much to a very dear friend of mine, Bob, who did a triathlon yesterday and completed it and raised £850 for Charlotte's bag. So we're very, very grateful. And to all the people that have started running for Charlotte's bags in charity events, it means an awful lot that we feel that at long last the word is trying to get round a bit. Thank you also to all the people that have followed on Twitter and Charlotte's Facebook, Charlotte's Legacy. Especially on Twitter, it's great because there seems to be quite a lot of young people and those are the people which we're really trying to get in contact with, because glioblastoma it's a young person's cancer, so we are trying to get that across to people. I will of course put the links in below. It's now February, March, April, it's nearly 15 months since Charlotte passed, and it certainly gets no easier whatsoever. It's still very painful and I still have my same rituals that I need to do just to be able to get through the day. She's missed very, very much indeed, but we have to carry on as best we can. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy the video and hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you. Bye.
Hi guys, I'm back today with another Cancer and video. If you don't know what Cancer and is, it's actually a new series I've started on my channel talking about cancer and family, cancer and food, cancer and beauty, etc. All things that cancer affects. So today I'm going to be doing one on cancer and food and diet and that sort of thing and taste. This request actually came from a viewer who commented. Her name was Mia Squire, so thank you for your request. So I'm going to get started on what... So basically I'm going to it's a very long story, my relationship with food and taste while having cancer. So I'm going to try and kind of go back to the beginning and then we'll get on with that. I've also got my phone on my lap and I'm wearing very slippery trousers and it keeps sort of like slipping off, so I'm just trying not to have a mini heart attack. So the biggest change that I had with my cancer, and one that affected me a lot, I would actually say emotionally the thing that affected me the most with the cancer was losing my hair. But physically, I think one of the things, apart from having the cancer, that affected me was my eating. So I had my radiotherapy course, which was a 32-day course, in October/November of 2013. So, like, the last 5 days of that course, I started to notice... So the last 5 days of that course, I started to notice big changes. One of the changes being that I was slowly losing my hearing, which I am now deaf in this ear, and I can do a video on that as well. But also my taste. So for the last sort of 5 days of the radiotherapy, I was getting extremely ill. I had to be pushed around in a wheelchair and I had to stay the whole time in hospital for that sort of like last week. And I was always vomiting and I was always being really sick and I couldn't keep anything down. Then after the radiotherapy finished, I wasn't eating much because I was so ill anyway and I wasn't hungry. But then when the radiotherapy had finished and I, sort of got back home and stuff, my taste changed. And when I say changed, it was basically that it wasn't just my taste, it was my sense of smell as well. So one of the most memorable moments was when my mum was cooking some chicken in the kitchen, and usually you don't really smell that. I mean, you can smell it, but I was quite far away from the kitchen, and I smelt it, and it was the most vile smell ever. It didn't smell like chicken. It didn't. It was just. It was indescribable. It was just a horrible, horrible smell. It made me sort of like gag. And then obviously I noticed that when I was putting things into my mouth, well, the stuff that I could keep down tasted disgusting. Everything that I tasted was disgusting. It was so bad that I couldn't even have a cup of tea. The only thing when it started that I could have was water. So as I said, everything that I tasted or smelt it smelt disgusting, and it tasted absolutely vile, and I could not swallow it. So I'm going to give you a bit of an insight into what some of the doctors told me, which was not very useful information. So as you can imagine, it's November time. Yes, Christmas is coming up. We have the great roast dinner on Christmas Day. I phoned up the hospital and I said, I can't taste anything, and it's really severe, and I was dropping pounds by the minute. And they sort of said that that's perfectly normal after radiotherapy. That's fine. It will take about 2 weeks for your taste to come back. Now I'm just gonna say it actually took 8 months for my taste to come back. So after being told that it was going to take 2 weeks, I was like, well, okay, I can just about sustain this, and hopefully, by Christmas Day I'll be able to have my turkey. And so after being told this, I was, hoping that actually maybe Christmas Day I'll be able to have, the turkey and everything else. I actually ended up having a bowl of cornflakes as my Christmas dinner in 2013. So, you're probably thinking, cornflakes, like what, you said you can eat anything. As I started to try things, cornflakes was the only thing that I could eventually start to eat. And it didn't taste like cornflakes, but it didn't taste disgusting, so I could eat it. Over the course of this 8 months, when it sort of started to get a little bit better, the smell was still really horrendous, and if my mum was cooking something, I'd have to close all the doors and sort of lock myself in my bedroom in here. But before my taste started to come back, the only things that I could eat were cornflakes, pretzels, like bread pretzels, bread pretzels. Shit, what else was there? Mummy, I'm mid-filming. What were the things I would eat? It was pretzels, cornflakes.
It was just those two, wasn't it? Sorry? It was just those two, as far as I remember going buying pretzels over and over again. Popcorn, pretzels, and cornflakes, yeah.
Yeah, there were 4. Wine.
You weren't drinking wine then?
So the only 4 foods that I could eat was popcorn, pretzels, like bread pretzels. I've actually written it down. So it was popcorn, pretzels, cornflakes, and pasta with butter. So that was it. And I went, because I was on steroids to try and suppress the tumour, I went from being like 11 stone, I think it was like 11 and a half stone, to 7 stone 5. Now, you don't need somebody to tell you that 7 stone 5 is not a healthy weight. I haven't actually got any photos of me, what I looked like when I was really, really skinny. But I mean, this weight loss was just so dramatic. And basically, eventually, the thing that actually got my taste back, because I got diagnosed in July 2013. Funnily enough, in July 2014, we had a bit of a scare, and we were told that it looked like some of the tumours on the spine had grown. I think it was on the spine. Well, basically, one of the tumours looked like it had grown, which was just like the worst news that you could ever hear, because I was just starting to get my life back on track. So I was put on a course of 5 days of steroids, and the steroids make you really hungry. That was why I weighed 11 stone before I lost the weight, because I put on loads of weight because I was just eating all the time. And actually, during that week, because I needed stuff to like fill my system, the taste started to come back, and I've never really understood this, but the taste of food started to come back, and it started to taste really good again. And since then, I can now pretty much eat all the stuff that I used to want to eat. I can eat everything now, and it's absolutely amazing. And now actually, if I'm sort of like thinking about, oh, I need a summer body, I can't have this, I can't have that, I then say to myself, like, why are you doing that? 8 months, you couldn't have any of this stuff. Why are you now, taking it away from, your taste? So, yeah, that was sort of like the biggest. So yeah, now I'm going to go on to what my taste is like when I have my chemotherapy. So a lot of people say that they get this sort of metallic taste, and some people actually can't eat when they're on their chemo. I'm actually alright. I have to say, when I take my chemotherapy, after about an hour, I sort of get this really metallic, as a lot of people say, and it's very odd, but it is very metallic. And I get a bit of a taste of it. And also when I'm breathing, I sort of feel like I'm breathing it in. It's very odd, and it's really not very nice. But that's sort of what I get with it. My taste doesn't change at all, I don't think. But there was one point when I was on chemo, and this was the only time it's ever happened, but I think I was having a sandwich, and it started to taste really like disgusting. And I think that was the chemotherapy. I think that was when I had my chemotherapy dose heightened, and then that was like when I was on the chemotherapy I started to eat, and I think that was what actually made it taste a bit funny. But so far I've actually been fine eating foods while on chemotherapy. So I hope this has answered any questions that you may or may not have had. If you have any requests down below, please leave them, and I will make a video about them. So I hope you're all having a really fantastic weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!